So can you talk a little bit about the common pitfalls of being a ghostwriter? One of them you just mentioned is biting off more than you can chew. Are there any others that if somebody was getting into ghostwriting and they're just getting their feet wet with it, what's something they should avoid? What's some mistakes that you made when you started that you would like them to avoid?
Um, the they fall into that same realm, knowing that to a client you're expendable right from the start is important to know. And I hate to say that, but it's true. These clients now on these websites, they realize that they have 50, 60 people that might apply to their post about their jobs. So if you're not willing to do what they want, they're going to just say, okay, they're going to spit you out and go on to someone else. You don't want to ever overpromise, and so at the same time, you want to make sure you got that locked in and that they're aware of how much good work you're going to do for them. I guess is the thing. You have to keep the momentum with your client going, otherwise it'll shift against you. Um, you have to start like almost like you have a nothing to lose mentality as a freelancer. You have to go in there and say it as it is. Not be afraid of it. Not be afraid of telling them what you need and what's going to be, how many hours you're going to be putting into this job, and let them know this is why I demand or expect this amount of pay. If you don't, then they're going to be able to overwork you and demand too much. Um, and you're going to fail. You're going to give up saying, well, I'm not going to be able to make enough money. I'm putting too much time and work into this. That's one of them. I guess realizing how much you could take on is also another key step to learning your own limits. How many hours can you put in a week? How much writing can you do in one day? Sometimes people get tired after writing for 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours in a row. So you got to be able to take a break and get away from it for a while and then come back. I found what works for me is taking on 2 or 3 contracts at a time, no more, no less. I could devote 2 or 3 hours to one contract in the morning. If I try to go back to that same contract in the afternoon, sometimes I'm not ready to. I need more time to think it through. I need time to have a little distance from it. But if I start working on something else, then my creative juices are more available to me, and I can do another 2 or 3 hours in a different vein. Maybe it's a whole completely different story, a different setting. That all makes a difference. So as a writer, if you keep tapping on the uh, same vein, let's say, then it's going to wear out after a while. So you want to change and have different sources to go back to. Um, so and that's it. If every writer's different, and they've got to learn to develop and understand their own limitation and their own capacities as well.